Thank you to Sylvia Pozos. She says, I agree with you, but for some people, speaking up equals perpetually unemployable, total alienation, etc. And the word you're looking for is resentment, coined by Nietzsche. I don't know that word.
So can I speak to this for a second, Carter?
Yeah.
We absolutely understand. I'm going to speak for both. And I'll just speak for me.
No, I do also understand that. Yeah. You can throw. I know what you're going to say, I think, and you can throw me in there with that. That's fine.
Yeah, the fear is legitimate. It's real, and believe me. And for the past few years that I've been talking about my old belief system, I hear from people all the time. Most of them liberals who are very afraid of saying anything, who know that this leftist authoritarian social justice bullshit is bad, but they are too afraid to speak. And some of them are too afraid to even hit like on my posts. They want to talk to me privately about, oh, I like this, I like that, but they can't. They're too afraid publicly to like something or share something. And I understand that. That fear is real. I went through that fear. Mm-hmm. It took me about 6 months before I wrote my first essay. And the fear is real because the consequences could be real. You fear losing your job, social status, social circle, friends, family in some cases, your safety, your privacy. You could be doxxed, like our friend Mike Harlow. These people are dangerous. My old belief system, they believe in force. It's not a bug. They believe in violence. It's a feature. It's a feature of the ideology. So I totally get the fear. I think the problem is, and I want people to know and I hope people can see this, is that if everyone who was afraid but who knew this was wrong spoke up en masse, this would be over. The problem is that this is the real world and we're all individuals, and so everyone's going to get over their fear at a different timeline. Everyone's not tomorrow going to be like, okay, let's do this. Let's all get over our fear together. It's just going to happen individual by individual. And I've seen it happen. But what happens is when you get over your fear and you start speaking what you believe to be true, you become more confident. You get better friendships and relationships. I got out of toxic work, toxic friendships, toxic things that were not healthy for me. How can it be healthy for you if it's keeping you silent? And so, and then
you're killing a little bit of yourself every day that you're not yourself. Right.
Yes.
This is a form of slow suicide, and you are accepting it. And I don't. It's not that I don't have. I don't mean to interrupt, Carrie. It's not that I don't. I do have sympathy for that stuff, and I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to say like, oh, just man up and come out. Like it'll be fine. Yeah. No, it won't be fine. It may affect your way of, it may affect your lifestyle. It may affect your financial situation. It will definitely affect your social circles. But I am going to say, again, I'm using war analogies today for some reason, but look, your arm is infected with a disease that will kill you. That disease is rampant. You need to cut off your arm. Like, it's time to tighten your belt and decide, like, look, can we live on less money? Can we move to a smaller place? Can I deal with, read the book Anti-Fragile, which could be a book club book someday. Read the book Anti-Fragile. Get yourself ready in a financial position that you are a little bit more independent, a little bit less relying on the approval of Mark Zuckerberg to earn your paycheck. It will hurt. Be prepared for it to hurt. It still needs to be done. It still needs to be done because I believe that I know that you're afraid. And by the way, I'm not chastising you for being afraid. I'm not chastising you for like delaying. I get it. It hurts. But you are facing it's going to hurt much more later. It's going to hurt. If they win, the pain that you're afraid of right now will seem like nothing compared to the pain that you will experience later.
Like right? The world that your kids are going to live in is, I can't.
I mean, it's literally, again, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but this is the ideology that ends up putting people on boxcars and shooting them in killing fields. That's this ideology. Now, they're not doing that today. No one's saying that they're even saying that, but is it possible? Let me tell you something. Okay, a lot of people know that my wife grew up in China. She's got still a lot of ties to China. Her family's in China. The older generation, like her parents' generation, lived through the Cultural Revolution. They saw the Cultural Revolution. Now, interestingly enough, obviously, they tried to get their kids to the U.S. They tried to get out of the U.S. Right? They wanted to escape. A lot of them ended up sending their kids here for college or whatever, and their kids are here. Now, in the past few years, so they recognized, by the way, the value of some of there were positive changes in China. Things were being opened up. Obviously, the economy's grown. They got a little bit more freedom. Still authoritarian dictatorship, or not dictatorship, but authoritarianism, but got a little bit more freedom. They recognized a few years ago when Xi started to lock things down, they recognized like, oh, this is bad, and they started telling their kids like, oh, we actually really need to get out of China because the positive progress that's being made is now being pulled back by this guy. This is dangerous, right? So and they were correct about that. Things did get worse. They were right. But you know what they're saying now to their kids in the U.S., their adult children in the U.S.? You want to guess what they're saying, Carrie?
They're saying they're noticing the same signs.
They're saying, get the fuck out of the U.S. right now. It's the Cultural Revolution. You are in danger. Get out. We've seen this. Come home to China. It is safer. It sucks. Everything we said about Xi sucks. It's safer. Come the fuck home, please, children. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And they're right. This is the Cultural Revolution. That's what's happening. So make no mistake about it. You're not going to ride this out being silent. You're not going to ride this out in comfort. Your life will change. The question is, do you want to step up and make that change in a way that resonates with who you really are and take ownership of that change? Or do you want to let it happen to you? I'm not going to make that decision for you when you can, and I'm not judging you for being afraid of stepping up and doing something or saying something or being like saying what you believe. But make no mistake about it, you cannot hide forever. You can't. It won't work. And the sooner you take action, the better you'll be long term. I know it's scary. I know it's painful. You may lose your job. Your standard of living may go down. Do it. Yeah. Do it. It's better than getting on a boxcar in 20 years.
Yeah. That being said, I do agree with Sylvia in chat who says we need to be understanding of why people aren't doing it or are afraid, and I am. It's just that we still want to make the case. By
the way, I'm not picking on them.
I totally understand. We just want to make the case because we want to encourage people. I want to encourage people to get past their fear. I'm not judging you for your timeline or when you get past it or what your line is. But I mean, I believe it's better if we get over our fear and stop what is happening. So that's the case I'm going to make. But I don't judge the people who, I heard from someone in academia the other day. I've been hearing from lots of friends in entertainment, people who are afraid to speak. And someone in chat just talked about this 11-year-old on the news crying in the UK because they've got these racial re-educators, and the kid was crying and saying he's afraid of saying the wrong thing and getting in trouble.
Re-educators.
Re-educators, yeah.
You want to go to re-education camp, kid?
Yeah. But I definitely, whatever that timeline is, whatever small ways you can get over your fear. It doesn't have to be some big move that you make tomorrow where you go, again, not everybody has to start a podcast or whatever. Not everybody has to join an organization or run for Congress or whatever it is you think you can do. You can just in little ways push back, try and get over your fear in little ways at first. Be the person who says the thing when you're at dinner with friends and somebody says something you don't think is true. Be the person that disagrees with kindness and with grace and ask them to clarify and then explain why you don't agree, but not in a hateful way. Do you know what I mean? Like that helps. Because especially when they love you, if they're friends and family of yours, that's the best scenario for you to maybe be able to reach someone is because they do love you, So
yeah, and be aware, you're not alone. It seems like you're alone, but A large
Yeah.
percentage of this country, if not the majority, they don't want this. They're just
Yeah.
afraid. They're just afraid, just like you. That's what it is. And look, I'm not. I have empathy for. Again, I wanted to emphasize. Like, I know I'm sounding harsh. I have empathy for you. I'm not saying you got to do it and you're a jerk if you don't, or you're a stupid coward if you don't. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to do. Christians love the phrase "tough love," right? I love you guys, especially the people who are actually devoted to individualism. I'm trying to hold up a mirror to you. I'm trying to, not a mirror. I'm trying to just show you reality. This is the reality of where you are. It's a shitty situation. It sucks. It absolutely sucks, but it's the reality. And the sooner you understand that that's the reality, that's where you're living, the sooner you can act on that, the better. And what I don't want you to do is to pretend that you can stick your head in the sand or avoid being seen for the next 20 years. You can't. It won't work. So
They're going to come for you either way.
they
They're
are
going
going
to,
to come for
because
you.
look at the way that and this, again, history gives us lots of examples on this. If anyone who's not completely following with what you're supposed to be doing is suspect. That's why silence is violence, right? They love to say that lie. That is a lie. But I heard from small business owners who posted the black square on Blackout Tuesday and privately told me they did not agree with it, but they were scared and they were sick having to post it. And if what they're doing is creating an atmosphere of self-censorship and fear, and this has happened over and over in history, any kind of totalitarianism, where people feel like they have to comply, but they're kind of sick feeling doing it, and they don't do it entirely. They make little concessions, but they don't make it entirely. Like one of my friends put the black square, but wouldn't put the hashtags, or and they notice that.
Well,
There's something
and
wrong with her. But let me just, they notice that and they
they
say
notice
there's
that you're
something
doing that.
wrong. Yes, they will eventually come for you because you are not perfectly engaging in their purity spiral. You are not saying it exactly right. They can tell that there's a part of you that doesn't believe this. They will come for you anyway. Or if you remain quiet, I mean, then, oh my gosh, you're not saying anything about this? Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is something to understand about the social justice warriors, everyone. You are guilty until proven innocent. You must adamantly be constantly demonstrating your innocence. You must be constantly showing that you're one of them. And so if you fail to do it in a little way, that's evidence, right? Like, you're guilty. If they can point to the fact you didn't use the hashtag properly,
Yeah.
you're guilty, right? You are guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around.